everyone, I hope you're well. Thank you for having a look at my YouTube channel. I haven't, and thank you for subscribing as well, those of you that have, I really appreciate that. So I haven't posted on here for a little while. I have got a video that I'm just in the proceeds of editing. That takes me a little while because I'm absolutely rubbish at tech. So it's all a new learning curve for me. So I do find that difficult. So please bear with me with that. But I'm in the middle of doing it, so it shouldn't take too long. So it will be up either today or tomorrow. And that's a future life session with the lovely Laura. She was really happy to have her session put on YouTube. So thank you, Laura, so much. And I hope you all enjoy that session. It was really fantastic. On that day, on that Sunday, I had been really poorly. I don't look great, but I was determined to get that session done because I'd promised Laura I'd booked it in and I really wanted to do it. And gosh, it was so interesting. Anyway, I'll leave that there and I'll let you watch that. So this isn't just the home of past life or future life videos. I'm jumping in here quite a lot. Hopefully, I'm planning to do this once a week to come on and just chat to you about all the different things that I do spiritually and what is the Spiritual Gateway. That's my company, and what are the plans for that and how you can get involved if you want to. So first of all, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. So today I thought I would talk to you a bit about pendulum work, and my pendulum is something that I use an awful lot, and they are really great at getting yes no answers. So if you don't know what a pendulum is, here is mine. So this is a pendulum, and you ask yes or no questions, and the pendulum will move to yes. Obviously, I'm moving it myself at the moment, and no, and these are my yeses and nos. That's how mine moves forward and backwards for yes and side to side for no. Some people have round and round one way for yes and round the other way for no. It just depends on your pendulum, and you have to work out what way is yes and what way is no for you. And I will show you that in a moment, but I just want to talk to you a bit about my pendulum journey. So I first got my first pendulum, um, gosh, it must have been a good 20 odd years ago, maybe 23 years ago. And I was doing a tarot reading for someone actually. And she said to me, "Oh, Jo, I can see that you absolutely love your tarot cards. Have you ever heard of a pendulum? And if you have, do you ever use it in conjunction with your tarot readings?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I've never even heard of that. What is it?" And she said, "Oh, it's a crystal on a chain, and you can just ask yes or no questions." So I was like, "No, but I'm going to investigate." Anyway, as it happened, I was going to a psychic fair the following week, and that was held locally. So I went because obviously this is going back 20 odd years ago, so there was no Amazon or ordering online really at that point. So I went to this psychic fair and they had loads of stalls, lots of lovely stuff. I bought my first crystal ball at this fair, and I also bought a pendulum. Um, and I have owned many since then. Now they have just been put in my handbag, put in drawers, and have gone missing. I've got 3 children at that time. They were small children, and they would, play with them, and then they would get lost or whatever. So I've gone through quite a few over the years, but I have had this one for many years now. And as you can see, it's slightly damaged here. It got dropped and it chipped a little bit, but it is my go-to. I really like it. It's an amethyst, and I like the weight of it, so it feels good and you can really feel it pulling when it's going yes or no. So I really enjoy using that one. When that chipped, I thought, well, I better get another one. So I did buy this, and it's rose quartz, and it's really pretty, really lovely. It's really smooth. I really like that. And it has this little bit on the end, so this is nice to use, but it's not quite heavy enough. I wish it was maybe slightly bigger to have a bit more weight, but I think that it shows up on camera a bit better than my old amethyst. So I'm going to pop this away, and I'm going to use my rose quartz one today. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So when you're using this, as I said to you, you need to work out what your yes and no's are, because you're going to ask questions and then the pendulum will move yes or no. So that's what you need to establish first of all. So you see a lot of people holding their pendulums right at the top, and I guess maybe that's what that little bobble's for there, to kind of hold. But actually, I think you have a bit more control if you are holding it a bit closer. So I always hold mine there, and one of the reasons is good, you can steady it with the palm of your hand. So you can tip your hand and steady it. So you know, you're asking questions, it's swinging, you want it to stop in between, you can do that easily when you're holding it that close. So that's what I do. And the other thing I do I support this arm, so you won't be able to see it on camera, but I kind of lean my elbow in there, or kind of rest it on there, like that, so that my arm stays still, because I want my arm to move, because if you're sort of holding it forward like this and your arms just like freelance, your arms moving around, and it's going to move the pendulum, and you always get someone say, I saw your arm move. So that's how I steady it. I hold it, steady it with the palm of my hand. I'm holding my elbow, my arm is leaning on my hand to steady my arm. And then all I do is say, yes, 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 yes. And you can see my pendulum starting to move back and forward. And then I'll just say, no, 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 no. And you see it just literally stops mid-flow and changes direction. So that's my no. The other way you can do it, you can ask questions. You can say something like, hello, is it Tuesday today? And it's saying yes, because it is Tuesday, so you know the answer to that. And then you've got to ask an outrageous question that you know the answer is no to. So, is it snowing outside? And that's a no. So that's how you work out what's going to be yes and what. The way to use this, and there are so many, but when you start, just start asking simple questions. Now, you may feel that this is coming from in here, um, but I feel that you're connecting with your higher self or your spirit guides, and they're moving it, and you can feel your pendulum move, and I truly believe that. I really do. So I used to ask, when I started using my pendulum, I would ask things like, so when I was thinking about moving and moving house, I asked, should I move house? Oh my gosh, I'm going to ask this, but I hope it says no, because I don't really want to move house anyway. Should I be thinking about moving house? No. Sure, that's a relief. So I started asking questions like that. But please remember, there is always free will. So if you say, should I move house? And it says yes, then you don't move house. It's not that the question's fouled. It's not that it's not working. It's that you've got free will, and you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So please remember, there is always free will. Now, you can use your pendulum to find lost things, and that's really fun to do that, and I will quickly show you how you do that. So if you've lost something, and obviously I haven't, so I'm going to move this myself just to show you. So say I've lost my door key. Okay, so the first question you should ask really is, can my car key or my door key be found? And hopefully it says yes, because if you've thrown it in the bin and the dustmen have been and got rid of it, obviously you're not going to find it. So that's the first question you should ask. Can this item be found? And hopefully yes. And then you need to narrow down where it is. So you ask, is this item in my house? And it will say, hopefully, yes. And then you say, okay, so now you need to narrow down. Is this item in my kitchen? No. Okay, is this item in my bedroom? No. Is this item in my office? Yes. Okay. So you go to your office and is this item on or near to my desk? Yes. Okay. Start to look on your desk and you'll find it. I've helped one of my friends find an item that a child dropped in her bedroom, and it was down the side of the bed. And we really pinpointed it with the pendulum. So it's really good at doing things like that. The other things you can use it for, so you can obviously use it for your own, for your own yes no questions. You can connect to your spirit guides, so that's a whole thing in itself, and I will go over that, and I might do a short course on that, but it's too much to go into on here. But it's a great way to do that. You can also access your Akashic records from using a pendulum, but again, you need to know the right questions to ask and how to do that, and that's another whole course to do that as well. But you can use it when you're reading tarot cards. You can get clarity on each card. So I read my tarot cards intuitively. So I can ask my pendulum, am I getting the right vibes from this card? Does this card mean what I think it does? Is this resonating with the person that I'm reading for? So you can use your pendulum for lots of things. They're really good fun. They're a really great way to get you tuned in to your spiritual side and connecting with your spirit guides and your higher self, and really getting you used to using those sorts of tools and listening and feeling. Because honestly, when you ask a question and it starts swinging, and you might have asked a question and you ask something else and it changes direction, gosh, that's really weird. And sometimes you can really feel the pull of it. So they're really great fun to use. They're a really good tool to start off with, and I can't recommend them enough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be on next week to talk about something else. Okay, bye for now.